Vladimir Putin of Russia and says Ukraine war will begin immediately. President Trump said Wednesday that he spoke with Russian President Vladimir Putin and directed members of his national security team to immediately begin negotiations aimed at ending Russia's war with Ukraine. The call between Trump and Putin is the first known conversation between the two since the president returned to the White House for a second term. It comes a day after Russia released Pennsylvania schoolteacher Mark Fogel, who was serving a 14-year sentence and was designated as wrongfully detained late last year. I just had a lengthy and highly productive phone call with President Vladimir Putin of Russia, the president wrote on Truth Social. We discussed Ukraine, the Middle East, energy, artificial intelligence, the power of the dollar, and various other subjects. Trump said that he and Putin talked about the great benefit that we will someday have in working together, and agreed on the need to end Russia's war with Ukraine. In addition to the pledge to begin discussing on the war in Ukraine, the president and his Russian counterpart said they would visit each other's nation. The president said he has directed Secretary of State Marco Rubio, CIA Director John Ratcliffe, National Security Advisor Michael Waltz, and Middle East Envoy Steve Witkoff to lead negotiations on the conflict. Trump also spoke with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky soon after his call with Russian leader. Zelensky wrote in a post on X that no one wants peace more than Ukraine, and that Ukraine is charting our next steps, he said, to stop Russian aggression and ensure lasting, reliable peace. Trump wrote in a statement on Truth Social that the conversation with Zelensky went very well and said it's time to stop this ridiculous war where there has been massive and totally unnecessarily destruction and chaos. Now, Trump's conversation with Putin came shortly after Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth seemed to undercut key Ukrainian positions in eventual peace talks, including by ruling out eventual membership in NATO. Speaking ahead of a closed-door meeting of the Ukraine Defense Contract Group about more aid, Hegseth said peace in the country must include security guarantees that should not be provided through NATO membership, but must instead be backed by capable European and non-European troops. The defense chief also said Ukraine's goal of returning to its borders before 2014, when Russia first invaded and annexed the Crimea Peninsula, was an unrealistic objective. The president, too, addressed the prospect of Russia maintaining control of Ukrainian territory its forces have occupied during an interview with Fox News that aired Monday, suggesting Ukraine, quote, may be Russian someday, or they may not be Russian someday, end quote. Trump frequently claims that Russia would not have launched its invasion of Ukraine 3 years ago if he were president, and vowed on the campaign trail to quickly bring an end to the war. Vice President J.D. Vance is set to meet with Ukraine's Zelensky at a security conference in Munich that begins Friday. The president has been a vehement critic of U.S. military aid to Ukraine, prompting concerns from Kiev that assistance would stop flowing with him back in office. He told Fox News that aid could depend on Ukraine's agreeing a trade deal that gives the U.S. access to its rare earth minerals. We're going to have all this money in there, and I say I want it back, and I told them that I want the equivalent of like $500 billion worth of rare metals, he said. They have essentially agreed to do that, so at least we don't feel stupid. The U.S. has provided more than $65 billion in military assistance to Ukraine since Russia launched its invasion February 2022, according to the State Department. And this is from CBS News' Melissa Quinn on DNYUZ. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.